today I have a wonderful guest, John Durbin with The Suffers.
Hello. How are
Hey,
you?
John. How are
Hey,
you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on your awesome show, podcast,
Uh,
video. Thank you.
no, thank you so much for making time and joining us today. It really means a lot to me.
For sure.
So
Same.
huh?
Same.
All right. And I've been trying to bring my audience some positivity with what's happening. And I've been interviewing different people with local businesses. And I know you guys are Houston, represent Houston, and you guys are an awesome band. And I just wanted to get to know you a little bit better. So can you tell us what got you into music and what instrument do you play?
Well, I play trumpet in the Suffers. I've been playing trumpet since middle school, which I went to Wonderlick, which is way out north Houston. Anyways, it's before we had area codes.
It's okay.
Uh,
I went to Tomball, so that's even north of that.
Yeah, we had a 7-digit phone number back then, but yeah. No, so I've been playing trumpet since then. I went to Performing Arts High School here in Houston, called High School for Performing and Visual Arts. Yes. And then from there, I think that high school performing arts academia kind of like pushed me into music. So I knew early on that that's something that I wanted to do, and that, in some degree. So after high school, pretty much right after high school, I went to U of H, and right before U of H started, I went on my first tour with Free Radicals, which is a local band. And so that was my first taste of touring the United States. And then from then on, I joined Los Carnales, did some touring. I toured with Karina Nistal, and we did stuff all over the Middle East for the troops and stuff in Afghanistan and Qatar and Dubai.
That's
And
so cool.
that was awesome. Yeah, Mark Spear, the guitar player for Krungbin, he's a friend of mine. He was on that tour with us, and that was really neat. And then I toured with a swing band called Swoon in the mid 2000s, and we went to Japan and a few things. And then fast forward, and then 2011, the Suffers started, and here I am. And that's
How
pretty
did
much
you
it.
connect with them? How did that start to create that band?
Well, it's funny because Patrick Kelly, who's one of the people that actually had the idea to start the band, him and Adam Castaneda. Well, me and Patrick Kelly went to PVA together, so I've known him since band at HSPVA in high school. And Nick Gonzalez and Pat and I played in a band called Texas Size in high school. So some of us go way back. Razzo, the trombone player, him and I played in Scarnalis together. Kevin and Choppy played in Scarnalis with us. Cam was always like around in the music scene, so I'd see her as like this little girl bopping around a Westheimer Street Festival, like, come check out my band,
Aw.
Epic Skeptic and blah, blah, blah. And so we've been in contact for a long time, and friends. And so basically everyone in the band I've known since way before the Suffers, and we all were in different projects. And then at one point, Pat and Adam decided, hey, why don't we do this band and get these people and these people? So I've been around since the very beginning. Actually, most of us have. And it kind of happened organically. We were actually supposed to, because at this time we were all in 3 bands. I was in Lower Life Form, which is like a hip hop group.
Okay.
I was in Los Carnales. I was still playing salsa and jazz music. And so I was doing this stuff. And so when we started the Suffers, it was supposed to be a weekend playing covers of songs, but in like a Jamaican style.
Uh-huh.
So we were thinking maybe we'll get some wedding gigs, or maybe play this or that just for fun, maybe just for some money. And then it turned out where originals were brought into the band, and then we played a couple local shows and realized, hey, we all realized that we liked what we were doing, and we liked the sound of the originals. And so before long, it organically just started. What was a side project ended up, we all just like kind of had to quit everything because we wanted to devote more time to
Yeah.
it. Then we
So
all
what was
quit
the side
jobs.
hustle became the main hustle?
Yeah, and it wasn't even a preconceived thought. It just happened naturally and organically. And then before we knew it, we were quitting our jobs. I mean, this led on from 2011, 2015. 2015, we all quit our jobs, and we had talked about it and decided to start touring. And it was crazy because like I think right before that, 2014, we were playing CMJ Festival, which is like South by Southwest, but they do it in New York City.
Okay.
And we really hadn't played out of Texas but once, and it was a wedding at this point, and, my friend's wedding in Albuquerque. And so we're in New York, we play this thing. Well, we get back and we hear that apparently this little show we did, that a talent buyer for the David Letterman show just happened to be there, and we didn't know. So we started getting these emails. It's like, who's your publicist? And we were like, I don't, what is I mean, I've heard the word.
What are those?
Yeah. And apparently we tried talking to him, but the guy didn't, he's like, I need to talk to a publicist. I'm not going to talk to just whoever. And so
I'm guessing there's some legal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that. Like you said, it was so natural. It wasn't like, this is the end goal. We're going to be a big time band and we need to do everything towards it. Was just like your passion. And then you guys meshed so well that it just bloomed into that naturally. And I feel like that's so rare.
Yeah. I think maybe the key word in that is the fact that we were doing what we loved, and we were just adding another thing upon our week of craziness, because we had rehearsals. Most of us had day jobs that time.
And I'm sure as a musician, you do have to do other things to supplement your lifestyle or your income.
You do. You really do. And even now, doing the Suffers full time since 2015, it's work too. I mean, it's not just the shows we play. There's so much logistics, and we have a team that helps us that we've had to hire on, and we have management, agents, and there's a lot of meetings that happen. There's a lot of phone calls, a lot of rehearsing. I mean, there's just so many sides to it that this has to be the full-time thing to make it work.
Yeah, and it's true. That's so cool, though. I mean, I'm so happy that you guys made the band. The music's great. I've been listening to you guys on Spotify. So thank you so much for putting out that content, that amazing music. And just to go on to our next question, with what's happening, like, are you facing any challenges like band practice or touring, or is there anything that is impacted your business with the coronavirus?
For sure. I mean, I think pretty much like all performers and entertainers in Houston and probably nation, maybe worldwide, as well as service industry, because of the COVID-19, we've all just been shut down pretty much. And I know a lot of musicians such as myself that have been all in their music or their art. There's no real plan B, because I never really thought about that. And so
until it's happening, you were usually like, la la la, this is great, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's a hard like, wow, I never anticipated not being able to do what I do to any degree, except for practicing at home and some video streaming and trying to be creative and find ways to kind of stay relevant with yourself and and still push the boundaries.
Playing off the challenges, now that you're talking about your shifting, what things have come out of this that are positive? Like, what have you adjusted to still connect with your audience?
Well, we've been doing we've still been creating content, and it's mainly for us as a band to communicate and to stay connected, and also to let people know that we're not quitting just because this is going on. So we've been creating these like Brady Bunch style videos where we all just record our part. It's like our drummer will count off 1, 2, 3, 4, so we have it on time. And
I've seen it though. You guys posted some of that, right?
Yeah, I think the one we just did is what you said. We've done actually 4 of them, and I think one might come out today or tomorrow. But we've done 4. Yeah, we've done a few of them, and so that's one way to stay kind of connected and also kind of push what we're doing and make sure that we as a band are moving forward and not just stagnant right now, because it's real important to not stagnate.
Very important.
Depression and things that we're all trying to avoid while these times are very difficult, and just you don't want to be glued to the couch all day either, because that's easy to do.
It is.
It's easy.
So with that, like, what have you taken anything on? I know you were talking about running. Are you doing like I've seen some people posted the 5K challenge. Are you on any?
Yeah, I'm all about those funny things, because now it's like I have nothing but time, except for like practicing my craft and stuff. So I've been running. I run all the time. I think it's really good for my balance, and and health, and it just feels good because it's like a meditation. And I tell you what, with all this going on, I do get cabin fever. I'm someone that loves to be outside normally, and I'm always on the go. But now it's like I don't have anywhere I can really go or like go hang out with friends. So I go running, skateboarding, do some yoga inside my house, which I got to admit, I love the classroom better because I like the energy of the people and the teachers that I would go see. I love the way they teach in person and stuff, but I've done a couple of video classes and that's nice. Sorry,
Yeah, it's nice that they pivoted too, so they can connect with their audience too. And I've taken some of their classes. Granted, I do like the class style better than being at home, but
yeah.
they're lucky to have that access. And just lastly, what advice can you provide my audience with what's happening or some positivity? What would you recommend?
Well, I would recommend supporting small and local businesses if you can, and if it's within your availability to do that. I know not everyone can. I do when I can. And so those little coffee shops, your mom and pop, your friends own coffee shops, support them. Food, beverage. I mean, there's a lot of people besides artists in all forms that are hurt really bad right now. And so I say support them. I'd also say keep your mind and body active so you can find balance, because you can use this time, I believe, as a reset, because I've been having thoughts about that. Like, even though this is all pretty terrible and there's a lot of, it's just terrible how it's destroyed a lot of people and families, and it's really sad. But at the same time, there's a chance where we can reset, kind of refine, and not take for granted our family, our friends. So connect with them. Another advice would be connect with them on not just phone calls, but if you can, FaceTime if you're able to, because sometimes just seeing someone, it just puts that realness back that you don't necessarily get. So like when my sister, or say like one of my nephews, they FaceTime me because he just learned how to do that. Now he does it like all day, and it's really funny because it's like his new thing. And so I'm like, hey, James, and he's like, oh, that's funny. And he hangs up and then he calls right back. But I love that because it's like I miss them, and so I'd say stay in touch with family and friends. Also, don't stay glued to the couch. Try and find something to do. You know what I mean? There are some really good shows on Netflix, and I do watch those.
Yep.
But,
binging.
yeah, exactly. But try to just think of things to do and just keep your mind active, because it's easy to get caught in stagnation. I'd say most important is, I'm kind of speaking to artists and people, actually it's to anyone, is to stay true to your craft and use this time to kind of hone in on these things, even when it's might not be easy, because you start finding all these other things to do, like, oh, now I can clean my garage, now I can clean my house, do all this stuff. That's all nice and neat, but like, pay attention to your craft and your talents that were given to you, and kind of hone those in, because when this is done, you want to be able to jump right back in, hopefully, to where we were, or even better, or just whatever you do.
Yeah, kind of like what.
And it'll be like, oh man, I'm like out of practice, or I'm out of,
Right.
I'm not feeling it, So that's some advice I'd give.
Great advice too. I mean, like you said, it's reset time and kind of honing and see what no longer is serving you, or maybe you didn't realize was serving you because you haven't had that moment to like step back, and now you're being forced into stepping back and maybe realizing and reflecting like, hey, this no longer serves me. So once everything goes back to normal, you might shift in some way, maybe have some growth,
Yeah, it's true. And even even the suffers, like, I love everyone in my band. We're like family. It's one of the biggest things I've ever done in my life, is quitting my job and just kind of jumping off the cliff together and be like, we're going to do this, see how it works. Luckily it's been okay. But like, even that, before this happened, you don't realize until you're in this moment of quarantine, and not being able to do it the way we did it, that you subconsciously take things for granted a little bit. And now I'm like, gosh, I miss being on the road. I miss touring. I miss being with them in person. We've done one live stream together as a band right before, or right when they did the stay at home orders. And we tried to stay 6 feet away, and we realized it's difficult, and so it's not like safe for us to do that. So now
What did you say?
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, so we did one live stream, and then some people were like, hey, but blah blah blah. So like, well, we probably shouldn't do that again, but it was fun. But I look forward to actually being with them, like right next to me and playing shows as we normally do. So we've had to adjust in that way pretty big time. And now Cam's doing the live stream solo with our tracks every Saturday at 8 p.m. on Instagram and Facebook.
I saw that. So I mean, that's cool that you're still connecting with your people.
Yeah, you gotta do what we can during these times, you know. And another thing is these video conferences. Like I used, like all of our, with management and with some of our team members, we'd always have conference calls on the phone, and I would just sit on my couch with my coffee on speakerphone. And now it's like we started doing Google Hangouts. This is actually
you gotta look presentable now.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, with my management, it's like some of us are in our PJs, some are like, it's whatever.
So
but
you
like,
get to see a little bit of everything.
yeah, like it's like the real world kind of thing. But
yeah.
But I realized through all this that, and we have realized as a band, that we actually love the Google Hangout, like the video conference vibe. And so I think going forward, one thing we're taking from this is to keep doing in-face when we can't be with each other, like calls, because it actually is a whole different level. And we tend to be, those that don't speak as much end up speaking a little bit more. And it's because it feels more interactive. And so that's something I never thought would happen. I'd never even been on a video conference call before this happened. And now I'm on them like all the time.
I mean, daily for me. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this might, even after this passes, might shift, like you said, things that you guys might keep even after you can meet in person. You'll add that to your tools.
For sure. I mean, that's definitely something we plan on doing. But yeah.
Well, tell us where we can find you and where we can check you guys out.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I'm LaDurbster on Instagram.
I'll add it on the video.
Yeah. Quick story behind that real quick is that I had a friend at U of H that was in the art program, and she made pottery. And so one day she brought me this little ceramic cup, and it said LaDurbster on it. And I just always thought that was hilarious, and I still have it. And so that's where LaDurbster
comes from. It's just stuck. Yes.
Yeah. So, because some people are like, it looks like Red Lobster and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I like LaDurbster.
I like it.
Yeah. So I'm LaDurbster on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook at the moment. The Suffers on Instagram. The Suffers on Facebook. Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all your streaming services. We're probably there. Your record stores, which we can't go to right now. You can order from them online. Support the local ones. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely add that. Again, thank you so much for taking the time today to hang out. And I will add your information and look forward to seeing you one day in person when all of this passes.
Yes, that'd be great.
Awesome. Well, you take care.
Thank you, Andrea.
You're welcome. Bye.
Right. Bye-bye.